You know what sound that is, folks. You betcha it's another noon whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone, and I am here today with MaryEllen Wright from Hope Now.
Greetings. Hello, everybody.
Welcome, MaryEllen.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
time with us. We
Thank
appreciate it. And we're going to talk about all things Hope Now, a little history of how Hope Now got started and where it's gone, and MaryEllen's involvement, as well as the rest of their group and board members, and all the good that they do for the immediate Elkhorn area, I guess, school district area. Is that correct?
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. That's our service area. Is the Elkhorn School District area is our service area.
Okay. Well, tell us, how long has Hope Now been around?
Well, we actually just celebrated 20 years of being incorporated and being a 501c3 charity, tax deductible charity. So it's been 20 years of incorporation, and a few years before that, as some of the churches in the area here have noticed people kind of knocking on their door, asking for some assistance, either for rent or utilities, and kind of that short-term expense that popped up that they had to pay for, and now we're running short on what they needed, for their monthly expenses. And so a number of the churches got together and said, wow, is this person, are we helping this person? Is somebody else helping this person? So a number of us, church members, as well as at the time I was working as a school social worker here for Elkhorn Schools.
We forgot to put that in, that your career with Elkhorn.
I was just going to ask, let's not erase how many years of service?
24.
Oh, my goodness.
I got all excited. I blew right by that.
No,
I know you did. That's all right.
Yeah.
was
So,
great.
which is amazing
Thank
that
you.
you have some special training in your involvement with Hope Now, that you can assist people, and you have that background.
Right. And I'm glad to still be using my skills and my profession to be able to be helpful to people and hear them and give them some hope and some resources to move along. So we also had some people from Human Services that got together with us, and we really looked at what was happening in the community and what resources were available and what kind of assistance. But we really found that there was just a little piece that seemed to be missing. And that piece was for folks that were really trying to manage month to month. But if they had an unexpected expense or an unexpected loss of income, that just blew their budget. They really couldn't make ends meet that month. So our primary mission is to help people either secure their own housing, like maybe with help with a security deposit, or to help them sustain that housing. So maybe, again, there's a loss of income or an extra expense, a car repair that's unexpected, and they've run short. So we may be able to help them tide over for that month with some limited financial assistance, which we
pausing on that a second.
Sure.
Is the help always financial or not?
Well, people often come to us for the financial
Sure.
help. And when we are able to do that, we pay that to the utility or to the landlord or to sometimes the car repair shop. We don't provide it directly to the applicant. But sometimes we've really noticed that when folks have one kind of concern for need, there's other needs. So we really try to, look at our long referral list and resource list and get them in touch with other folks. Maybe it's the housing authority to get on this Section 8 housing voucher list. Wow. Maybe it's energy assistance so they can get help over the winter season. Maybe it's Salvation Army that they can get a little bit of assistance for. Sometimes, so there's a bunch of assistance that we provide, not only with the finances, but
Sure.
with the referrals too. And that makes a big difference.
Which is pretty special. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
So I'm going to ask kind of like, let's get to the practical a little bit. Like, what are the mechanics? I know, we have, if people are looking at getting, connecting with Hope Now, we have the website at the bottom of the ticker. We also, that you can also donate your time and resources if you feel so inclined to do so. What are kind of the mechanics of getting in touch with Hope Now? What does this look like? And then once you're done with the kind of, if I need assistance, what are the mechanics of that? And then how can I also be a part of this and feel part of our local solution?
Right. Thanks. Yeah. Well, again, people often are referred from other agencies and they call us or they hear about Hope Now. So they call us. people sometimes say, can I come to meet you at your office? And I say, well, I'm at my kitchen table because we're all volunteers. We have no staff. We have no shelter. We have no apartment. We don't even have an office. So we are pretty lean in terms of our, our financial operating expenses. I think I looked it up the other day. It was about 2% of our monies, coming in.
Okay.
And
so I'm hearing you say phone.
Yeah.
I can call.
Call. And then we talk to them a little bit. We do have a website, and it does have an email. So people have been in touch with us by
social
email.
media. Any social media there?
We do have the website, and then we have Facebook.
Okay.
But again, being so few volunteers, we really encourage people to call.
Okay, perfect.
Because we can have that dialogue. Sometimes people call and they're not in our area, and then we can refer them to the resources in their area. Or we're not the right fit for what they need. So we can help them get to somewhere else where they can get perhaps some assistance. But if it's an appropriate referral, we invite them to come to our panel meeting. A small number of our volunteers meet twice a month with an applicant, talk a little bit about what's happened in the past, what's going on now, and how they look to get back on track. And then that panel, up to 3 people, decide if we can be helpful to them financially, and if so, to what amount. The next day or 2, we do a couple phone calls to landlords or utilities or whatever they're asking for to confirm the information. And if all checks out, then we go ahead and make that assistance for them. And again, be in touch to see if they need something else or can be assisted by other organizations or agencies.
And there's some follow-up to this too, right? Not just always that you help them, excuse me, you help them, they're on their way, but then there's some checking in down the line.
We do a little bit of that. A couple of years ago, we were given a small grant by the Methodist Church in town that allowed us to pay a stipend to we call it a community advocate person. And that person then will make a phone call a week or 2, a month later and say, how are you doing? What do you need and stuff? But that's, like I say, that's not really a part of our budget per se, because we get the monies for that to give that stipend to the follow-up person.
Okay. And you Hope Now engages with other nonprofits for assistance. Is that right?
We do. Sometimes it's a partnership, between Salvation Army and Hope Now. And sometimes even we've reached out to St. Vincent de Paul. There are other organizations similar to Hope Now in some of our other communities. Helping Hands in East Troy, Side by Side in Lake Geneva, Delavan Human Concerns, and they serve their area. So it's really, so we really have some nice partnerships with those folks too, to refer people in their areas that might happen to call us.
Do you work with any agencies like United Way, Elkhorn Fund, anything like that for assistance with, I guess, dollars and cents?
Sure. Thanks. Our funding is from the community. We do not have government monies or government programs that fund us. So the majority of our funds come from individuals in the community, churches in the community. We are a United Way partner and an Elkhorn Fund partner, which we're very grateful for. There are a few family foundations in Elkhorn that have provided some monies to us, which we're very, very grateful for. And even in-kind donations. Again, St. Pat's Church has been gracious to allow us to use their address for our mailing address. We don't even have a post office box. So we're really lean. And the school district, Elkhorn School District, has allowed us to use some of their buildings and meeting rooms to be able to meet with applicants. So we're grateful for the help of a lot of other organizations and folks that
we're so happy that we can help.
And
how would someone, if I wanted to make a donation or someone wanted to make a donation, what do I need to do? Can I just go to your website?
Sure. There's actually a link on the website that you can use to get on and make a direct donation. Otherwise, people will write a check and send that in care of Hope Now, to the church office, St. Patrick's Church office. And that's good. We have a need oftentimes, all the time, for more volunteers. Again, we're a small group, so doing fundraisers on our own, we're pretty small to do that. So we have other organizations that will do fundraisers. There's even some school groups that have done some some fundraisers and such. For the last many years, Jackson Elementary School Student Council, they've done their quarter days, and they've sent us a check
that's
for that.
awesome.
It's been really, really a great little partnership. So again, but with volunteers, we can use volunteers all the time to be a part of our group.
Sure.
Whether they want to come and be a part of that and say, I'll write all your thank you notes, or I'll get out, so I'll manage your Facebook page or your website for you. I can help with some, organizing some fundraisers or even some PR. There's some things we could use some help with, because again, there's a few of us and there's a good number of things to do. So
belonging doesn't necessarily mean you've committed to every meeting in that. There's some tasks along the way that could be filled by someone that says, well, I can't make all the meetings, or I can't go to all the interviews.
Right.
But I have a specialty in marketing, or I have a specialty in this, or
for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. We meet, our board meeting is on the second Wednesdays of every month. Again, St. Pat's lets us use a space. So we're second Wednesday of every month at 4:30 over at St. Pat's to come and visit and say hi and see a little bit more of what we're about. But the other thing I wanted to say is, I think a personal touch of this, and sometimes people wonder, should I call Hope Now? Or I know a person who's in need, but I don't know if that's appropriate. And I think just making a note of some of the people that we've helped in the past and kind of their situations, because sometimes, just last week, I got a call from a gentleman who had been living in his truck. He had applied for housing assistance for a Section 8 voucher, to help with his rent. Finally, he found an apartment, which has been very difficult to do. We have people that have a voucher for help with their rent, and they cannot find an apartment that fits, for what they're allowed. But he was able to do that. But now he needs to pay twice security deposit. Had an eviction long time ago.
Yeah.
Credit is not good. So now it's twice the security deposit. And again, he has some income coming in, a part-time job and some Social Security, but he's really struggling. So needs that little bridge, to get into his own place, and then he can do that. I had another older senior couple, retired, and they've been getting along on their Social Security and a small pension. Their rent has gone up. We've gotten so many calls that rent has gone up, and they can't make it. They've taken on some part-time work, but they're not going to get a paycheck for 3 weeks, and they're going to miss their rent payment that month. So we can help maybe with a little bit of that rent payment to tide them over until they're able to do that on their own. We had a middle-aged woman who was taking care of her 2 grandchildren because her daughter was doing some rehab. Good for her. And so her and her husband were managing that. And sadly, her husband had some alcohol use issues and went to jail. So here she was at home. He had been the breadwinner, and now she was really lost. Now what? So we were able to help her, just tide over with a little bit of rent. We got her connected with assistance for utilities. We got her connected with Job Service Center and with child care assistance. So until, her daughter got back home to take care of the kids. So it's just a myriad of issues,
I was going to bring this up, and I'm thinking back to, obviously the majority of your career, you spent in law enforcement. MaryEllen, we worked together at Elkhorn. I'm in my 27th year, and I think about all the years being in front of in front of the staff, especially around, and you used to make a point to remind all of us that the holidays are not ideal for everyone. And I guess this is kind of like, I don't want to use this as a PSA, but more of a call to action. Like, now's the time where I'm guessing you would advocate. We only have a couple minutes left, but really advocate for the support to come out, especially as we're giving thanks for the Thanksgiving and leading up to the holiday season, especially around that Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday. And I'm guessing you may see an uptick in requests at that time. But, I just wanted to, thank you for what you guys do, and just ask you, do you see in your years of experience in this position and working with this group, do you see this time frame being a time of more need for support and resources?
Sure. Thank you. Yes, that is, because again, when many folks are living paycheck to paycheck or month to month, When there's an additional expense, sometimes back to school expenses in August and September, sometimes the Thanksgiving, the Christmas time where families and they want to provide something for their kids, for Christmas. And so they just really don't have a lot of extra to do that, to make much of a holiday for them. So we do get those requests, and we send out a notice. It's called Hope for the Holidays. And we've been asking churches or businesses or individuals if they'd like to donate gift cards, actually, food gift cards, gas gift cards, and store gift cards. Then we can provide those to families based on their family size. And truly, I think giving them the autonomy and the confidence that they should be able to pick out the foods that fit for them. They can pick out the gifts that fit for their kids. I think that's an ounce of respectfulness to them to be able to do that. There are a lot of charities and a lot of holiday things going on. So I think people have a lot of choices in where they might want to spend their charity, their holiday charity dollars. But certainly Hope Now is one of those options. And I just want to say one thing again, thanks to you two for doing this and giving people more of an idea about the Elkhorn community and Elkhorn schools. A thing that I've noticed over the 20 years or more that I've done this is that what kind of brings folks, to being to struggling. What we've really found is people who do not have their health or do not have their education and skill training have been two primary reasons why people have not been able to manage very well. So, I know that, our schools do a great job in trying not only to give them a good education, but thinking about careers. The College and Career Academy, has been so helpful to so many young people. And I think, again, for the school district to continue to do what they can to address to some degree health, with our kids, whether it's physical health or mental health, and their career path can make a difference for people in the long run, to have that education and that skill training. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Piece. No, and thank you for being on, and thank you for leaving your social work career and ultimately continuing that calling, because it really is. We thank you for your service to our district and our community, and it's great to see you again.
Thanks.
John, it's about that time. What do you think? How do you want to close?
Boy, you know what? I'm full. I'm full after listening to MaryEllen, and just thankful that we have groups and people that do this, and for all her service to kids and community over the last 30 years, really helping us take care of Elkhorn.
Yeah, and I think MaryEllen, keep us in mind. I know John and myself, we're in so many different spaces, whether it's connecting with, being at the youth build level and the Habitat for Humanity level, and then the goodness gracious, Walworth County Housing Authority, and John's obviously his outreach, and we're part of Network or Rotary, and keep us in mind. I know there's plenty of times where our school district can continue to support those organizations and give a call to action to our kids, and it's a great community service opportunity, a great investment. So on that note, John, I think we should probably get everybody back to work, give the sound. I do want to give a shout out to all the people, everybody who's been out and voted. Please make sure you take advantage of that important opportunity that we have as citizens. And it's not about who you vote for, but please get out and take advantage of that, your civic duty. So, and on that note, John, MaryEllen, great seeing you. Everybody have a great day. And
it's
time to go back to work.
All right.